Thank you very much to everyone for joining Richard and I for the practical training on unit net profit. Today we're going to take you through an introduction to net profit and unit net profit and how important it is to your business that you now have visibility of this throughout Trader. Today we're excited to speak with all our merchants about the introduction of these two key metrics, net profit and unit net profit in Trader. We see this as a major milestone that solves the e-commerce data piece that we set out to solve. We're bringing enterprise level data to SME e-commerce retailers. Having this data at your fingertips ensures your team and your business is efficient and as lean as possible. Our most successful retailers are using IRP Trader to outperform their competitors and take market share, grow profits, all while keeping traffic costs under control. After a decade of R&D, IRP is the only platform that is capable of calculating unit net profit in real time. We will take you through how to configure, see all the profit data, and what it means for e-commerce teams. Merchants now have visibility on how much net profit they make, not just overall, but on each individual unit they sell. During this practical session, we'll show you that it's not sales that creates enterprise value. It is profit after all costs are deducted from sales. Net profit, the actual money made. We will explain what this number is, where to find it, and why it matters. And just to clarify from the outset, really net profit is your sales minus all of your costs. And it really is the critical element. And you now have access to this in real time.
Just to further elaborate on that, you may be asking, why does knowing your net profit matter? So there's often the forgetfulness in e-commerce or business in general around net profit. And the focus is solely on driving revenue. And that ties in with the old saying, sales are vanity, profit is sanity, but cash is reality. It's the profit and the cash that keep businesses sustainable. In my own experience, I worked for multiple businesses previously outside of IRP, where a lot of unnecessary stress could have been avoided by having access to net profit in real time. Most businesses look at these metrics monthly. However, there will be occasions where only quarterly, bi-yearly, or yearly accounts are produced. I quickly learned that more parcels out the door didn't necessarily mean more profits. Having access to net profit in real time would have been invaluable to me. It's important to remember that sales are only the start of the process. Without maintaining product margin, controlling traffic spend, and managing overheads, merchants risk losing money. When just 7 to 9% of your stock accounts for over 50% of your total sales, and this can be seen through the Glenday Save in account after account. As we go through the session, we'll focus in on the entry of overheads and the importance of this and viewing your real-time net profit data at the unit level.
We're going to take you through now where to find the net profit and admin app Trader. With 9.6, there is now no financial decision really unknown, and it will be made in real time. And really the key additional data is the overheads percentage, net profit percentage, and unit net profit. Probably something also just worth sharing as part of the 9.6 release. We have now given business owners much more control over who can see cost prices throughout the platform. So again, speak to your account manager or your merchant success manager around that. Really, you should have no concerns about having totally accurate costs prices for products in your IRP. And the more accurate the inputs, the much more accurate the output of net profit will be. We will show you kind of where the net profit appears in Mission Control Trader. You have your today's net profit at the top. In the positions tab, you have the sessions to net profit. And again, on a monthly basis, you're breaking down from sales right down to gross profit, to e-gross profit, and net profit as well.
So in terms of validating your overheads, just at the end of each month there's a reminder sent to the agencies, and then they'll enter those costs, and that'll allow us to see the gross profit and the net profit that you're generating, and obviously your CPA figures there in real time as well. But we've also added this overheads tab, and you'll see there just within the overheads tab, we've got payment processing percentage, per order variable percentage, per order fixed costs, shipping charge, shipping costs, and monthly fixed costs.
And just before we jump into the likes of mission control and sales analysis, where you'll see these key metrics, it's always important to really remember e-commerce is mathematical, and it goes back to the standard equations with traffic times conversion rate times average order value gives you your overall sales. This equation is always visible and a really important thing to review regularly at the bottom of the positions tab. And then you have your e-commerce sales minus your cost of goods gives you your gross profit. Gross profit minus traffic spend is e-commerce gross profit. And then e-commerce gross profit minus all overheads is your net profit. And really, we do see time and time again is traffic costs and marketing spend is one of the biggest variable costs that determines a business's net profit. And it's important in 9.6, you now can now get down to unit net profit, which means net profit can be broken down at any level by country, by category, by channel, by SKU, and by any combination of these. And it's this level of data that is going to let you make much more informed decisions. So you also have your net profit and overheads now showing in the positions tab in mission control along the top core metrics. So mission control and across all trader, you have the real-time net profit calculation. It's available across mission control trader. You jump into sales analysis. I'm just going to adjust that there. So sales analysis, again, you're using this every day to see, well, what products are selling and how things are going. So you can toggle on the additional fields there just in the filter. And the additional metrics really are net profit margin, and unit net profit. And you will have visibility of net profit directly in your IRP app as well. And now the daily trading email that is now released. So net profit and the additional numbers are displayed by enabling those in the grid. Net profit kind of is only authorized to show to authorized staff in the app, the daily trading email, trader, and the top nav bar.
Okay, so having reviewed the e-commerce P&L within positions and the entry of monthly statistics and where net profit appears across IRP, lastly and most importantly, we look at trading in real time. This will empower agencies and merchants to use IRP data to make more profits. As a simple way to think about trading, we can think of it in three steps. So first of all, you have the data, which is being presented to you now within your positions, within core metrics, within sales analysis. We then look at what it means, and then finally we look at what action we should take. So we'll cover some real world use cases and how to think about the data. So first of all, we'll look at positions, and a worthwhile exercise first of all would be to view your net profit year to date. So that appears here just in the tab I'm hovering over at the moment. You can view your projected net profit for 2025 as well. Just in the top right, you'll see projected sales. If I click on this and continue just clicking through, we'll come to the projected net profit. So that's projected net profit over 12 months. And then finally, you can view your net profit margin here as well. So just by clicking on the net profit tab, you'll see your gross profit, your overheads, and your net profit margin there. Next, we'll have a look at the core metrics. Now, this is seriously powerful in terms of delving into the different countries, looking at your brands, your categories, your models, even looking at your traffic channels and how things are going there. So I would encourage you again to have a look at your net profit by your top selling country there. So just by simply selecting the country, you'll see the net profit there highlighted again in the tabs on the screen. So have a look at that by country. It may be the case that some countries are driving significant net profit and other countries are actually loss making, or maybe you're spending quite a bit of money there. So it definitely is worth reviewing that. Also, you can have a look at your brands, your categories, your models, write down, as I said, your traffic sources there. So you can look at your PPC performance, your email marketing performance, etc., and just use that power filter there to really segment and delve as deeply into the data as possible.
And just to continue on with sales analysis, really that is the granular level of your data, right down to stock, to model, brands, and categories. And you'll be able to use the column configuration to enable net profit margin, unit net profit. And again, we always do recommend when you're looking at these, keep that traffic column on there, because again, the traffic spend is one of the biggest variables. You can then order this grid by net profit. So again, looking at any date period, whether it's the last 7 days, looking at yesterday or last month, you can determine very, very quickly which products are driving the most net profit for your business. And you can look at what models are making profit, what models are losing profit, and what does that mean? What do you do with that information? The information is important, as it will determine which products are pushed on the storefront, through the home page, in listing page banners, basket promotions, and email campaigns in a shopping feed. And again, it really does come down to that merchandising and strategy. Well, what products are we going to push this week, today? What products are we going to buy in the future? What brands are we going to restock? Richard and I have a good example here where obviously before net profit was being brought to visibility, a lot of e-commerce businesses would have really focused on sales or on IRP's gross profit. But you can see here in this regatta jacket, it's getting quite a lot of views, but it has a very, very low margin, which maybe determines that it's end of line or clearance. But if we look at the growth figure, it's grown at 250%, 249%. And typically you think that would be great, but actually we're losing money on this product, and it's a negative net profit. And it's really down to the traffic spend in that it's getting quite a lot of views from Google. And again, having access to this information really does and will change the decisions that are made on a day-to-day basis, and working closely with your e-commerce team. And this really is why we see merchants and IRP outperforming the market, because they're a step ahead, and the level of data that they have access to is unmatched by any other platform. And your buying teams and supply chains, like this information is super useful for forecasting, planning, and restocking decisions. It's also used to negotiate better pricing based on volume buying. Again, on sales analysis, as Richard touched base on, you have the power filters. And really you can look at country level. So again, what is on your homepage on a per country basis? What products are going into shopping feeds, and really honing and ensuring that targeting and your advertising bidding strategies are as good as possible. And it's again having all this information automatically calculated in real time in one system gives real time insights to businesses and multiple teams, making them more efficient and ensuring that they're making the right decisions.
So on the basis that we've all the data and we've reviewed the data now, the next thing is actually taking action on that. We refer to this as trading in real time. So data points the way, and you need to embrace the art of daily trading. Trading is an art and a science. It's active, it's not passive. So you should use the core metrics overview or export the data from sales analysis and try to understand it. Have a look at sales where, so have a look at your countries, and try and understand, are there certain brands, categories in particular that sell quite well there. In addition to that, the previous example David's presented where we're seeing 250% growth in a product, is that product actually making money? If it's not making money, do we potentially pull that, advertising on that product, or is it end of line and we simply need to get rid of that and to free up some cash? So first of all, I'd be asking the service providers to prioritize advertising highly profitable items in certain territories. Or on the opposite side of that, you can ask them to limit visibility on products where you're seeing low profitability being achieved. So the data will flag up interesting trends and should dictate the merchandising on your store. So again, if you're seeing, highly profitable items there appearing at the top over and over again, think of your homepage, think of your scrollers, your best selling scrollers, and having those items promoted as much as possible. Think of your email campaigns through the week. Is there typically a brand or a category that's more profitable than others? Can it be pushed even further? On the flip side of that, if we've got products there where we're achieving low net profit, do we try and market the life out of those to get rid of them, to clear the shelves and essentially free up cash? So use the core metrics or sales analysis to analyze what services are delivering the highest profits are also. So we've got the power filter here where you can view your traffic sources. So if we're looking here, we've got PPC, we've got email marketing. This particular merchant has Facebook paid. You'll see others are with affiliates as well. So you can look at the net profit margin per channel there, and have a conversation with service providers if you're potentially struggling with obtaining the net profit margins that you like. Further on from that, and that could potentially lead to looking at the service marketplace and alternative providers if you're not simply getting the results that you expect in terms of achieving the most profit possible.
And this training points out key data, how to think and act, what makes someone a strong trader. As I said, your daily trading email will now show you your previous day's net profit, and we really do think it's super important for e-commerce managers, business owners to be having real time visibility from this. Traditionally, and speaking with retailers really before this came along, they may have looked at net profit monthly or quarterly, but when a small business, like, cash flow is critical, and knowing this value and really making decisions on that day to day is really important. and you now have access to this, you should be able to trade much stronger on that. So really, net profit is the critical number in e-commerce. In 9.6, you now know your trading position in real time. Traditionally, and again, we see this the different dynamics between working with business owners, working with e-commerce teams. Traditionally, business owners obsessed over profits and net profit, but an e-commerce manager or e-commerce teams typically wasn't the key metric. It maybe was always sales generated. But from those examples we've looked at today, really you can see the decision would be different if you know the net profit versus not knowing it. And really, given this the data to make trading decisions allows you to continually outperform the market and goes the whole way through a business from purchasing, merchandising, promotions, and maximizing and layering the trader data on top of the IRP core functionality that you have access to through marketing cloud, shopping feeds, on-site optimizations and localization. Using IRP trader and the data points and information we've spoken about today gives businesses the best chance of success. The key takeaway from this training is to think about trading profitably